Hey everybody, I'm Molly and welcome to your practice. Let's move together. We're going to find some space in our bodies, not necessarily a yin long holding posture practice, but more of a mellow, slight activation, slight somatic grounding practice. Grab a couple of blocks if you have them, or a bolster, whatever props you need, and then play some music, light a candle. Let your practice bring your senses into your body. And just notice how you feel right away. If you want to stand up, feel into your body. Notice if you have any areas of tension. Maybe take a little shake out of your arms, bouncing on your heels. A couple of deep breaths. And then we're going to actually get started laying down on your back. If you need a prop underneath your knees, go ahead and place that there. So take a Shavasana. Let your toes splay out, your palms open to the sky. Close your eyes down if that feels okay, and feel your spine and your pelvis and your shoulder blades land. The back of your skull is heavy. Tune into your breath, moving in and out through your nose, slow and easy. And again, just notice, take a little inventory, check in with how your body is feeling. Any areas of tightness, of constriction, or areas of expansion and softness and openness. Using it as information throughout our practice today. And see how your breath moves throughout your ribcage and your belly and your chest. And then just a little check-in with how your energy and your emotions and your mind are all feeling. I know we're all going through a lot, always, all the time. So it makes it all that more important to create space. And if that feels really difficult for you, just go in with no expectations, showing up, trusting that your body is going to lead you into whatever you need today. One more breath in, and then sigh it out of your mouth with an exhale. You can blink your eyes open, and we're going to take a side-lying, a fetal position. So roll onto your left side. If you want a pillow or a block underneath the left side of your forehead, you can. And again, we're just really gently getting started here, so let your body be heavy. Notice if the borders of your skin can become soft and squishy. Already feeling maybe a little bit of space as you breathe into the back of your rib cage and the sides of your waist. And then roll onto your other side. Take a little nap for a few breaths. Setting the tone and the intention for your practice to be unrushed. And to let the movement actually benefit you instead of checking it off your to-do list. And as you're ready, slowly come up into Virasana. Let's find a kneeling posture. And for this version, you're going to have a bolster or a pillow in front of you, if you'd like, underneath your hands. And tuck your toes. Sit your hips back to your heels. Push your hands into the mat or into your prop and feel your body opening with your in-breath and gently coming back to center with your out-breath. If your bottom of your foot gets tired of that stretch, you can tap your toes, give it a little break, come back into it. So for this practice, from kind of an anatomical standpoint, I'd love for you to think about creating space and softness through the back of your body. So we're gonna think about expanding through the back of our rib cage, the sides of our waist, our low back. And the other part is down into our pelvis and the back of our pelvic floor, our glutes, all of our external rotators. Those muscles tend to become really tense and tight and hold tension from physical things, emotional things, and it can really affect how our whole structure moves and how we feel safe and free in our body. So see if you can close your eyes and picture your breath moving all the way to the back of your glutes and down to your pelvic floor. And then let it go again. Of course, if you'd like to take any little organic wiggles along the way, you can. Maybe some side stretches or cat-cow. We're gonna find some more fluidity in a minute, but always take any adjustments that you need. One more breath here. And then come to a tabletop. If you have your block, place it underneath your right knee. So we're in all fours, shoulders stacked over wrists, hips stacked over knees, and then place your right knee on the block. This will kind of lift your right pelvis up. And we're gonna do some hip shifts here, really thinking about lengthening our external rotators and our glutes on the right side. So what I don't want you to do is hike your hip like this. Don't let your right hip come up towards your right shoulder. And then we're gonna avoid arching and swaying at the spine for now. So as you inhale, toes are tucked, left knee is gonna drop down to the mat. This can feel really unfamiliar and foreign the first few times you do it. And then as you exhale, we're suctioning our left hip back into space again so that our front hip points are even. Inhale, let your left knee drop. Feel a lengthening along the back of your pelvis on the right side, and then exhale. Draw your left knee up to hover again. We'll take 3 more. Take your time. So from the side, it looks like this. So I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing this. We're just moving at the pelvis and just shifting our hip up and down. And you might not have your knee touch all the way to the ground. That's totally fine. Let's take 1 more. Come back through center, and then we'll switch sides. So block goes underneath your left knee. Find your posture first. So hands, palms are planted down, toes are tucked. Think about keeping your rib cage and your front hip points even this whole time, so we're not arching and flaring our rib cage. And then as you inhale, let your right knee drop down or hover off the mat. We're now feeling this side, the back left side of our pelvis, open up. And send breath down there as you do so. Exhale. Bring your right knee to match your left. Inhale to lengthen. Drop your knee down. Exhale, come back up. And we're pushing our left knee into the block to create stability and shape. Inhale to drop. We'll do 3 more. Exhale, lift. Crown of the head extends long. And we're breathing down into our pelvic floor. Finish up with 1 more. Release your block to the center of your knees and come into tabletop again. This time pivot your toes out. So we're finding internal rotation of our legs, of our femur bones. Toes are out, knees are in, and we're squeezing gently against the block with both knees or inner thighs. And take a few rounds of cat-cow. Inhale to drop your belly, Lift your tailbone and your gaze up to the sky. Exhale to round, curl in, push the ground away, tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, open up, and breathe into the back of your pelvis again. Finding so much space here, exhale to curl around is helpful for the alignment of your legs, your spine, your rib cage. Helps with digestion, sexual function, bowel and bladder. Helps with your workouts. And take one more cat-cow. And release. Find a little bit of a wiggle. Maybe stretch your wrist. We've been on our wrists a lot, so if you want to take a little, take the back of your palm to the mat and then shift your weight back, a few rocks back and forth, and then switch sides. We're going to come into a squat. If you want to roll up your mat so that you have a little bit of support under your heels, that is a great option. You could also sit your hips onto a block. And if you have something in front of you, like a doorknob or a post or a piece of furniture to hold onto with your arms, that is great as well, because we want to find a really deep squat here if you can. And have your feet a little bit more narrow than usual. And then let your body drape over across your thighs. Let your head hang heavy. Palms can be in front of you for support, holding on to something. I like to kind of hold on to the mat on each side. And picture yourself inside your little turtle shell. And with each breath in, the back of your shell lifts up towards the sky. And then let it go on the out breath. So we're purposely blocking our belly and the front of our body from expanding so that we can create pressure to open and expand through the back of the body. And this can help with neck pain, shoulder tightness, and everything we mentioned before, all the way through the spine, the pelvis, the pelvic floor. It's all interconnected. If you're having any issues with a diastasis or a hernia or anything where you feel a lot of pressure going out through the front of your body, or pelvic floor issues where you feel a lot of heaviness down through the bottom, this can be a really, really important thing to focus on. Giving our body lots of options to push pressure and breath so that it doesn't have to focus in one area. But we want to use as many props as we need. So elevating the heels, holding onto something. Those are all great adjustments. Let's take 2 more breaths. And then release, come into kneeling. And let's find a little bit of movement through our upper body. We're going to take some cactus openings. So inhale and draw your elbows back, lift your chest up to the sky. Exhale, curl and round. Wrap one arm on top of the other. Fingertips stretch the back of your shoulder blades. Inhale to open up, lift up through the chest. Reach your heart to the sky. And exhale, curl. Maybe the opposite arm rests on top. And let it be yours. Take a few breaths here. And then if you want to experiment with the opposite breath patterning, just to kind of play off the expansion we just took to the back of the rib cage, then you could inhale as you're curling and rounding in. And maybe you exhale to open your arms to the side. Drop your head back. And inhale as you Find your cat spine, rounding and curling. And exhale to open. One more round. All right, shake it out. Let's find a puppy pose. Anahatasana. So stretch your hands to the front of your mat. Hips stay stacked on top of knees, and then melt your heart down. Take a little bit of a hammock sway of your torso side to side, pressing one palm and then the other into the mat. So you feel stability through your shoulders instead of just hanging out on your ligaments. And then lift your chest forward a little bit. Push your palms into the mat and drag them back as you melt your heart back towards your knees. Inhale to relax and come forward, lift up. Exhale, pull your palms down and back as you stretch your heart down and back. So a little bit of a flossing motion through our fascia, interweaving through all of our muscles and bones and joints, organs, nerves. It loves to be moved in this way where we find a slight activation and then a lengthening. So feel yourself move like a cat or an animal, a little bit primal, a little bit juicy. Finish up with one more. And then grab your blocks if you have them. We're gonna take, we've done this so many times before, our hamstring floss. Step your right foot in between the blocks so we're in a low lunge shape. And then similar type of activation and lengthening, we're gonna dig our right heel down and back as you lengthen your front leg. So we're not straightening the knee all the way, but hips are rocking back towards your left heel. And then relax that engagement as you come forward and rebend into the right knee. And then dig your right heel down and back as you lengthen through the front leg. You can close your eyes here. You can picture the tissue on the back of your leg, the whole posterior chain, lengthening as you find your eccentric movement, which is going from a shortened to a lengthened position. And our hamstrings are vitally important for helping our body feel in a really nice alignment because they attach below the knee, they attach up into your pelvis, and they can tend to tilt or tuck our pelvis in certain ways. So we want to make sure that we're creating healthy hamstrings so that our whole body and our back and our SI joints can feel better. You can always experiment with turning your toes in or out for a few. And see if you can find that gentle engagement from the very start of your repetition all the way through the end of your range. For one more. And then turn your body 90 degrees to the left. So we're facing the long edge of the mat. You can bring the blocks with you. Left knee is bent, left toes are tucked. Extend your right leg long out to the side. And now we're gonna squeegee our right foot in towards center line as you sit your hips back towards your left heel. This time feeling that muscular engagement through the right inner thigh, your adductor, your groin. So we relax to come forward. And then we pull our inner seam of our right foot inwards as we sit back. Close your eyes. Feel where you feel this in your own body. I tend to feel it in my pelvic floor on the left side, but my right side feels a little bit more smooth, I would say. Each body is different. We have different stories, different things we've been through. Let's take one more. And then switch your knees. So bend your right knee underneath you and lengthen your left leg out to the side. Same motion, squeegee your left inner foot in and sit your hips back towards your right heel. Relax to come forward, and then gentle engagement as you lengthen back. Check in with your breath again. Just moving in a way that lets you maintain smooth, unforced breath. If you find yourself holding your breath, then back off, take a break. Use it as information of any areas that might be a little bit weary or tense for you. Let's take one more. Good. And then we're going to turn 90 degrees to the left and find our low lunge at the back of our mat. So left knee bends, blocks are on either side of your left foot, right toes are tucked. And then we move through our hamstring floss. Dig your left heel down and back as you come to a slight straightening of the left leg. Relax to come forward. Dig your heel down and back. Moving from a low lunge to a half splits, but in a really conscious and mindful way where we're targeting change in our tissues and in our nervous systems instead of just chasing what a shape might look like. So we'll take about 10 here. This is a really good one to do a lot of repetitions on. They don't have to be fast or intense. And then you can feel free to turn the toes in or out. Two more. Take a breath if you need. Our fascia holds a lot of information, not just physical, but so many different levels. It carries messages throughout our body, helps with the flow of fluid and hormones. Okay, good. Step your left knee back to meet your right. Come to a tall kneeling, tuck your toes, and just take a little sway side to side. Maybe you place your hands on your body, something comforting and soothing. And then we're gonna open up the front of our body by, on your exhale, we're gonna draw our ribs down towards our hip bones to create a nice solid core here. And then lean back a little bit. So your torso is staying straight and we're just moving kind of at a diagonal level. Back and forward. I think these are called genie sits or Nordic drops. So just finding a little bit of activation through the front of the quads and hip flexors as your shoulders tip back towards your heels. Two more. You don't have to go super far. Good. Place your hands on your blocks. Step to the top of your mat. Take a forward fold. Shake out your head. Wiggle your knees. Stamp into your heels. And then roll up your spine. Coming to a mountain pose, Tadasana. Close your eyes. Take a breath inside out. Notice how your body feels compared to how you started. We're not done yet, but just a good check-in point. See any areas of tension again. Where can you set an intention to find softness and space and let go? Again, not just relying on passive stretching, but feeling our body connected and integrated and activated so that we feel stable and secure. And close or open your eyes, take a little shake, shimmy, wave your arms, fling them side to side, get moving a little bit. And then as you're ready, come down to Virasana. You can set a prop underneath your hips if you'd like. And take a little S swaying movement through your spine. One shoulder drops down, other shoulder drops down, ear to shoulder, loosen your neck. Your jaw, maybe you open and close your jaw a few times. That might feel nice. Let a breath go if you need. And then come to your puppy again. This time we're going to find some spinal waves. So start from your heart melting pose, chest dipping down to the mat. Use your hands as traction this whole time as you inhale to roll and round your spine forward all the way to a cobra pose. So the tops of the thighs and then the pelvis lower down. Inhale, baby cobra, lift up. Use the engagement of your back body to extend your heart forward, pushing down through the tops of your feet and then lower down. Inhale, push up to your puppy pose. And exhale, stay. If you want to make it a child's pose, you totally can. Inhale to round forward. Exhale to drop the front of your body softly to the mat. Breathe in as you lift up. Crown of your head tugs forward, toes extend back. And exhale, lower. And then if you want to take the calculated breath out of it and just move really fluidly, it doesn't have to be exactly timed. Just find some yummy movement for your spine. And then on your last one, let's rest in crocodile. So come to lay on your belly. Prone, rest your cheek onto the backs of your palms. You can close your eyes. And let your bones be heavy for a few breaths. Let something go that you're holding on to, any tension, any holding patterns. It's okay to move from states of activation and movement and then into rest and stillness. You can stay here longer if you need. Otherwise, come up to a seat, Sukhasana, an easy seat. You can sit up onto a prop and cross one shin in front of the other. We're going to move into a little bit of breathwork, pranayama practice, to see if we can create a little bit more space in our bodies. And our breath will be in and out through our nose. And just picture it moving through the whole torso. So we're going to expand through the belly, the ribcage, the chest, and then create a little intention to fill up through the back of the body as well and down into the pelvic floor. And we're going to find samavriti, which is equal parts breath. So our inhale and exhale will be the same count. We're going to start with a count of 3, and then each round add a count all the way up to 8. You can keep your eyes open or close them. Roll your shoulders back. Take a normal breath. And then inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale through the nose, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5. Exhale for 5. Progressively making more space in the body and trusting that your body is soft enough to receive your breath. Inhale for 6. Exhale. Inhale for 7. Exhale for 7. And last round, inhale for 8. Exhale for 8. Release any counting of your breath and just notice maybe it's flowing with a little bit more ease. The equal parts being very soothing and balancing for our system. So maybe you feel a sense of calm and resilience. You can blink your eyes open and remove your prop and stretch your legs out long to the side. Take a wide-legged seat and a little bit of a twist from side to side. Inhale to the right. Fingertips are just little stilts. That's the word I'm thinking of. To use as traction to open your right shoulder to the back of your space as you inhale for a tall spine. Exhale through center and twist to the left. Exhale through center. Let's take one more on each side. Good. Maybe a little side stretch. One more moment of fluid, shoulder, spinal, hip movement, whatever you feel like you need. And then we're going to come to lay down onto your back. Take a full body stretch, press out through your heels, and reach your fingertips overhead like you're waking up in the morning. See how long and wide you can get, how much space you can take up. Let it feel really good. Maybe roll out your ankles and your wrists. And then on your exhale, drop down into your resting pose. Feel free to take any props that you would like. And then if it feels okay, close your eyes. Let yourself just be here, breathing, taking up space in the body that you're in, feeling open, soft, expansive. And if there's any remaining areas of tension, just let them be there. Know that we're not gonna fix everything in one practice, but if you could send a little bit of breath there, that might be helpful. Check in and release your jaw and your brow and your belly. And picture that breath moving all the way from your nose down the center line of your body to your root. And then letting it go. You're welcome to stay here as long as you need. If you're ready to transition out, maybe take another stretch overhead. And then slowly roll into one side. Come to a seat and you can stay here, or just like how we started, maybe you stand up. Take a few steps around. Just checking in with how your body and your energy feels after your practice. And then you can finish up with any other movement, breathwork, meditation that you would like, but I hope you feel great. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you next time.